Well, the moon is going away and it went through the sky, through the night, and the sun is rising. So, when the sun is rising and the moon is going away, well, with a clear sky, it's a perfect motion. And, well, it looks like a circular one, and a circle for a mathematician has something infinite, the number p, 3.14, and it never ends. So, when Homerus was in 370 before Christ, still writing about mythology, well, the gods had sins. They lied, they cheated. Well, and some people in Greece started to complain about that. And they were writing about a world of perfection. And where would that be? Well, it would be mathematical perfection. Mathematical perfection. And, well, they imagined another world, and they imagined it to be above us in the sky. And so that was that world, and it was different from ours, and it was eternal, because after all, the universe has to start somewhere. It can't start nowhere. That is impossible. And the planets, they move. And, well, if you move a thing, it can put another thing in motion. But something has to be the first mover. And so the first thing that moved was moved by something almighty, which is there eternally, because, yeah, there was no beginning and there is no end. And it's like a circle, and it's like the planets, and it is perfection, and they see it in the sky. Well, and here on earth, we have the water of the sea, we have ground of the land, and we breathe in the air. And beyond that world is a different world, a world of perfection, and it is eternally there. And it is also because, yeah, where does it end? Well, it never ends. It is infinite. And that was the logical explanation of a universe 2000 years ago, not in Norway, but in Greece, ancient Greece. And that vision was exported all over the Middle East, all the way to Iran, and by Alexander the Great, because his teacher, the first school teacher, was Aristoteles. And, well, the Arab Peninsula he never conquered, because Alexander the Great died early of a disease. But he did build a library in, well, a city was named after him, Alexandria in Egypt, a great library, with all these books about all this knowledge, about the perfection of the sky, and the circular movement, and the infinity. And, well, he really, well, believed in that. it was true, it was perfect. And, well, it's logical. It is no more these 2 million years of storytelling about mythology and gods and all good stories and ideas which humans communicate to each other. And so, because a few thousand years later, suddenly came Isaac Newton. And Isaac Newton, he found the universal law of gravity. So the way the moon moves and the way the apple falls, they are the same. So where is that different world? Well, Newton started a universe of atoms, a universe which was the same everywhere, and which later got an evolution, and which we don't suddenly talk about infinity anymore. Well, it's just very, very big. And anything, well, we don't really know how it works. But, well, who cares? Because everything is very, very long time. So, but Newton changed that. That view that this sky is perfect. And because, yeah, those were the teachers. That was school. That was perfection. And I think it came because the ABC was discovered in the time of Aristotle quite recently. So mythology is perfect. Unicorns are perfect. For 2 million years, storytelling, cooking together, eating together, and having a good society, good relationships between humans, that's perfect. And they ruined it with school. They ruined it with storytelling in books. And they had in those schools a universal truth. So there were two worlds, the one of perfection, ideas, which was, well, the most important one, the eternal one, the one that controlled everything. And they had just our world here. And so that whole idea of the first school teacher, the man who invented school, Aristotle, and the man, his first disciple, Alexander the Great, who conquered the whole Eastern Mediterranean, Middle East, and Iran with those ideas. Well, those Greek ideas also ended up in Rome. And so, well, in Rome, they changed it a bit. But, well, if in Rome you dared to say that the moon was of rocks, just like the earth, they killed you. They killed you because the moon was immaterial. The moon was immaterial, it was eternal, it was part of an infinite world, and it moved perfectly. And yes, those people, those calculated those trajectories. Well, and to find out, well, they had always thought the Earth was the center and then the sun was the center, and well, it got a little bit more complicated when they studied everything. But the whole idea was that the moon was perfect and it was immaterial. And then, of course, Rome did fall because, yeah, you know, those in the highlands in Scotland never subjected those barbarians and not believers over the Rhine River, the German tribes, well, and of course the Norwegians and the Swedish and the Danish, well, they never cared so much about the Roman Empire. And well, so what they believed, and well, they had female equality. This was quite normal. Well, not for the Romans. And so, well, they, well, had difficulty in Germany seeing the moon because there are clouds in the sky and it rains in Scotland. So, but, well, they had their own beliefs, and, well, finally they conquered Rome. And, well, when Rome was conquered, um, well, that was 406 after Christ. Well, Christianity took over in Western Europe. And even Norway was Christianized. And it was all about love. Love between humans and, well, and writing. And, well, people were open to those things. But it always got more concrete. And then, of course, finally, well, everything went wrong when, well, there was really one universe. Because in those kingdoms, those medieval kingdoms where Christianity was so important, um, well, there was one thing. Everything was the will of God. And, well, that was not always in the advantage of the poorest, but it was the will of God. And so then one day, when there was no more sky, well, only sky above us, no more heaven, um, well, suddenly you had the communists, and they really attacked. In a material world, suddenly, all the philosophy was thrown overboard. The philosophy of Aristotle, the philosophy of all the Catholic and Protestant church, everything was thrown overboard and replaced by one theory. The theory that it's a material world. So there are no more ideas. There is no more something controlling mechanism from the sky, from an eternal world. It's just a natural world. And in that natural world, there is an evolution. And the evolution is pretty simple. The evolution is that there is a class battle. And the class battle, well, it was like this, it was like that. Nobility got in the church got replaced by the bourgeois. And now it's time the bourgeois is replaced by well, the working people. And so they have to unite, and they have to be very, very international, and they have to install communism, no more property. And that was so successful. But the West reacted, and, well, they invented mass production and consumerism, mass consumerism. And so bye-bye communism. So, yeah, they had more cars in the West. And so they did destroy part of nature because of that. So nature was destroyed. Nature was destroyed. And so now we are searching for a balance. A balance. And I think if you make a song today, it would be great that, well, you can explain something about, well, John Lennon said, all people living in peace together. Well, I now would replace it, all people living in balance together. And, well, and we always sing about love, and it's great, but, well, to get it in a more modern version, well, let's hope in the song people have the right balance with each other. So the perfect balance and a good relationship, and of course something empathy, That's how it all started, in my opinion, with speech